Hey guys, Bud Pills Green Country Meats. I wanted to make a video over, this is over basically the health, why I do grass-fed beef, and I want to show you the process here. So let's start off with, and you'll have to just bear with me, this isn't going to be real long, I'll get to the point quickly. It starts with the breeding of heifers. And so I got on Google and I asked the question, at what age do heifers breed? Now this would be a traditional cow in a grain-fed program. And the answer is 15 months. It's pretty accurate. 15 to 16 months, and these heifers will reach a weight of about 800 pounds. They'll be introduced to a bull, and they will have their first calves at the age of 2 years old. They have about a 9-month gestation period. So how? Let's ask a question first. Is this natural? So I went over here to another tab. At what age do grass-fed beef heifers breed? It didn't answer it. And if you scroll all the way down, there's no answer. This is something that I didn't ask when I first got into this industry. So I assumed, and you know what you do when you assume, that it would be the same as this question. And that was wrong. So bear with me just for a second. I want to show you in another question I asked on Google, what age do elk start to breed? Now elk are cousins. They're cousins to cattle and sheep. They're ruminant animals. They're from the same species. Okay. So elk, they say they approximately 16 months. Okay. So that would be the same here, right, as this question. 15, 16 months. Then it talks about bulls being very territorial. On average, most cows will have their first calves at 3 years of age. Now wait a minute. You said 16 months is when they start, when they're able to breed. The job of a female in nature is to have babies. That's what they do. I don't care if you're talking about a dog or a cow. Their job is to procreate their genes throughout time. That's why we're all here, right? That's our number one thing. Over food, anything else is procreation. To send our genetics further down the line. So if these cows breed at 16 months, why are they not having calves till the 3 years of age? That math doesn't work. This is an accurate statement. Cows will have their first calves at 3 years of age. That means they're not breeding till they're over 2 years old. They're probably closer to 28 months instead of 16. 26 to 28 months. 10 to 12 months longer. It takes a full extra year to get these cows in a grass-fed program. And I use the elk just because I'm trying to make it simple, and I'm just trying to find things on the computer that I can use as verification. So how is it, let's go back to our first page, how is it that these cows in a grain-fed program, how are they breeding so early? Well, here's part of the answer. This is Ralgrow. This is an implant that goes underneath the ear, and a lot of producers in a traditional program, in a grain-fed program, use this product. All feed yards use this product. Ralgrow is a brand of Zeranol implant from Merck Animal Health. Zeranol is an anabolic agent. It's a steroid. They'll tell you, if you read their material, that they will put an extra 75 pounds on your calves if you give this to them. If a calf is born let's say in February, which February, March is pretty common. When you bring them in the spring, like in May, and you ban the steers or ban the bulls to make them steers, you give all their shots. Some producers will give this Ralgro because they want the performance. They're being paid by the pound, right? So you're trying to, in a traditional program, the margins are so tight, you're trying to get every bit of meat off the bone that you can. So young cattle are being introduced to steroids at least twice before they're processed. They're also being fed a bunch of grain. They're changing the internal chemistry of that cow, and they're fattening them up. Cows do not, even if they're 15 or 16 months, you really have to get them to 800 pounds, which is pretty heavy for a young heifer. I can tell you when mine are 15, 16 months, they're 6.5 to 7, and 650 to 700 pounds. They're not big enough, and they're not mature. I mean, puberty hasn't set in. The bull doesn't pay attention to them. So in a grass-fed program, your heifers are not breeding until they're over 2 years old, like 2 years and a couple months, and they're having calves when they're past 3. It's very common. That's what I have found. When I first started in the grass-fed business, I couldn't find that information. It's nowhere out. That's part of the reason I'm making these videos, is if you're inclined to do this, I don't want you to think or to have the same fights that I fought. So I'm going to keep this short. In cattle, they have a thing called body scoring, and basically what that is the health of the cow. And this is, we'll start up here. That's a pretty poor looking cow. And the reason she's poor, she's got a lot of slope here off her tail. You see a lot of her ribs. There's not a lot of fat on this animal. She needs to be heavier. That's kind of a malnutrition cow. When they get up here into 5, that's a good looking cow. That's a healthy cow. A lot of her ribs are covered up. She's got a gradual slope off her tail. This is a cow in nature. This is what they're supposed to look like. If they were left to no grains, just out on pasture, healthy, this would be a fat cow. This is 6. In nature, this would be a really fat cow. Real heavy, brisket's kind of full. This is the brisket on a cow. The slope here is there. It's gradual, but you can still see that tail head. So I want to go down here and just show you what people are consuming. That's what you're going to eat right here. Look at that. That is a grain-fed cow. That's what they look like when they go to slaughter. All of this is rounded now. And all that is fat. It's not like they built muscle up. Look at the leg on this hog, right? See all that? That's fat. A lot of real deep marbling. A lot of the things you're used to eating, this is it. This is what you're consuming. The brisket here on this cow is real full. Tail head is a slight slope. This is a pig. This isn't a cow. This doesn't even look like a cow. This is a pig. That's a fat cow. That's what a cow should look like. This is what a cow should look like. That's a good looking cow. But this is what you consume. And you wonder why we have this. You are what you eat. Okay? There's correlation here. Why are your hormones messed up? I'm just going off of, well, I'll just say this is my opinion. This is just my opinion. This, whether you want to say it's causation or correlation, that's what you're eating. This is what they're getting. Plus they're getting GMO grain products. It's as unhealthy as can be. I'll just tell you, for me, I eat what I grow. I raise grass-fed beef and organic chicken eggs, and I killed an elk this year. I eat that. When I work out, I take care of myself, and my body fat's at about 8%. And I don't diet. If I'm hungry, I eat. Okay, I feel good, but I don't eat GMOs. I try to take care of my body. This is why I do what I do. I want to put a better product out into my community. Is it a little more expensive? Yeah, not much. I mean, I sell my hamburger locally for $7 a pound. Go to Walmart and buy stuff for $7 a pound. See, tell me what you get. Anyway, I'm not gonna rant here. I'm just gonna keep it short. I just wanted to show you. This is part of the reason why I do what I do. So, if you got questions, please feel free to ask. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to do a better job about putting up content. Anyway, that's all I got for today.